My name is John, and today we'll be reading True Mother's Speech in Moscow by Hoon. Speech at Hondoke, Sunday, May 23rd, 1999, in Moscow, Russia. Those who met True Mother face to face for the first time, show your hands, please. How do you feel? Great? How great is it? Before you met True Mother, I'm sure you had some imagination. Which is better, your imagination or the real meeting? Real meeting! I'm happy to hear that. Looking at your smiling faces, you all look young, handsome, and beautiful. Because of you being bright, beautiful, and handsome, your country may have a good future. Suppose you're standing at the starting line of a marathon race. Do you want to become a winner or a loser? Winner! To become a winner among the 5 billion people of the world, how much prayer and preparation do you need? Midway? Halfway? No! Do you think you can make it? I have been emphasizing 2 points on my speaking tour everywhere I went. As a mother and teacher, I want all of you to become true filial sons and daughters to God and true parents. Of course, as mother, I wish the entire 5 billion people in the world to become true filial children, to become winners. However, when I see you Russian brothers and sisters, I hope you will become winners in that race. It takes more than ordinary effort and prayer to be called filial sons and daughters among so many billions of people. For you to become filial sons and daughters, you have to know about true parents. In order for us to play the role of filial sons and daughters, we have to know what true parents are thinking and planning. We have to study a lot to find out more about true parents. So I truly wish all of you to resemble, to become true parents. Have you seen this book? Do you possess this book? Mother holds up a book of Father's prayers. Prior to the publication of this volume, there was another book of Father's prayers published in Korean. But this book is one of the 12 volumes of Father's prayers categorized by subject, published 2 years ago. Out of the 12 volumes, during the speaking tour, I have been encouraging people to study volume 6, the book on filial piety, to begin with. I have an earnest desire for all of you to become true filial sons and daughters in front of true parents. This particular book, volume 6 on filial piety, has a lot of prayers from the 1950s, the 1960s, and the early 1970s. We have to think about God's providence at that time. God prepared during 2,000 years of Christian history, laying the foundation, because God has a special purpose in the last days. But has Christianity done it? No. Particularly right after World War II, centering on Christianity, American Christianity was in a position to embrace the entire humanity. For that reason, unlike in the past, after World War II, those countries that won the war started embracing the defeated countries. Why was that? That was because of God's providence. It showed that all countries started becoming brothers and sisters. They did not know why it developed in such a way, but the reason was because the time had come for true parents to appear. So what was the result of those nations right after World War II? When we look into Father's immediate family, one of True Father's great uncles, Hoon, was a well-known freedom fighter for independence. He was in the position where he could become one of the 33 national representatives of the Korean independence movement. Because of that, Father's great uncle was in the position to become one of the leaders, the 33 representatives of the Korean independence movement. However, he decided to stay behind the scenes to raise funds, and in his stead he sent one of the church elders to represent him. Also, if we look at Christianity's development in Korea at that time, it was unlike any other place in the world. Korea started to experience a revival. Every church was worshiping with truth and the Holy Spirit. Many Christians, believers, and groups prepared to receive the second coming. Yet even though there was so much preparation, in the end they all failed to welcome true parents. Suppose that Christianity, which had been prepared by God for thousands of years, had accepted true parents, and Father's immediate family preparation was well harvested. The leaders were not to marry. They were single. Korea could have been the champion country to establish the kingdom of God on earth. If the people, the nations, and Christianity had received true Father at that time, then it would have taken less than 7 years, until 1952, to restore the world. If that had happened, then the Korean War, which broke out in 1950, would have been avoided, and worldwide communism would have ended much earlier, and the entire world would have had peace. However, when the internal and external preparation by God was taken away, where else could Father go? The only choice left for true Father was a course of the wilderness. So Father had to start his life course from the bottom of hell, from the dungeon of hell. He had to start from scratch and work his way up step by step. Father had to actually lay the foundation all over again up to this point. In those early days, when Father didn't have many church followers, Father visited Taegu between Busan and Seoul. Because of opposition, Father had to move his church even several times in one day. Your Korean national messiah, Reverend Hoon Kong, is living proof. She was there in those days. The reason that the Christian churches at that time opposed Father's public ministry and persecuted Father was because those Christian leaders at that time, and even now, were waiting for the Lord of the Second Advent coming on the clouds. Father taught a different belief. Also, once deacons and elders heard divine principle, they immediately started following Father, and because of that, the church leaders were scared of losing their followers. During those days, there was a lot of spirit world intervention. Spirit world was very active in dealing with the followers of true Father. When, because of the persecution and opposition of Christian churches, true Father had to move his church 3 or even 5 times in one day, Father didn't even have time to inform his followers. Spirit world helped them find the prayer meeting. They received revelations. Can you imagine that? At that time, true Father had to face incredible, unimaginable persecution. That was the situation at that time. Father had to walk through a pitch-dark tunnel without any light. Put yourself in that kind of situation. You can't see any light. You don't know what will happen. In such a situation, usually people only think of their lives. But Father still constantly offered his comfort to God. Father prayed to embrace and forgive the entire humanity because of their ignorance. Father offered hope for the future of humanity. You must have heard from Father. Until the holy wedding of true parents in 1960, there was a continuous battle and confrontation. At this point, you sitting here have no way to imagine the miserable situation. There was so much misunderstanding, persecution, bigotry, you name it. To make the situation even worse, the communist countries such as North Korea and Russia came to know about Father's existence before even the democratic world. They came up with plots to stop Father's ministry. In that kind of miserable situation, up until the first God's Day in 1968, true Father's teaching was focused on the life course of Jesus Christ. Also, in his prayers, he prayed about Jesus Christ's life and ended his prayers in the name of the Lord. Therefore, I strongly recommend you to read True Father's prayer every day as you begin Hunduke. That way your heart can be engrafted into True Parent's heart, and you can mobilize Spirit World to come down to help you in your daily life and mission. As you know, Father's prayer book was published in Korean 2 years ago and has been translated into Japanese. Can you identify True Father's picture on this book cover? This is the same one which appears on the cover of the prayer book. This is a scene of an outside bookstore in Japan displaying Father's prayer for public sale. Not only this book, but also other True Parents Hunduke books are being sold there. In Korea and Japan, True Father's prayer books are becoming bestsellers. It's nice to see you clapping and cheering, but more than that, if you want to understand True Father's teaching, how long should I wait? This book has been translated into English, but is not yet complete. Yoryo bon, champunumonim il sarang hayo. Do you all love True Parents? Until now we have been translating other books, but when it comes to translating Father's prayers, it is almost impossible because of the difference in languages. The book appeared 2 years ago. How long do you have to wait until the book will be translated into your language? Yoryoban champumonim yul sarang hayo. Do you love True Parents? Yes. How can I believe you? Raise your hands if you agree. Since you are bright and young, I feel able to have hope in you. Unfortunately, we have one problem. Our time is limited. If you have a plan to achieve your lifelong goal in 10 years, this is a time that you have to shorten the time period and achieve your goal in 1 year. Actually, we have less than 1 year until the year 2000. Only 7 months, in fact. In the year 2000, how old will our True Father be? 80. Is the physical age of 80 old or young? Old. When you say old, is old age closer to birth or to spirit, or closer to spirit world? Spirit world. It is closer to spirit world. You are all young and enthusiastic, but when you achieve your goal, achieve victory, with whom do you want to share the victory? With True Parents. That is the problem. Therefore, understanding your desire and hope, in order for us to be able to prepare to welcome the new millennium, we have to do our absolute best in the remaining months to share victory with True Parents in 2000. We have to learn Korean and master it. That is the secret. Would you like to do that? Yes. Do you feel this is a different time period we are living in now? Yes. In the past, when we had invested 10 units of effort in our mission, we could only harvest 1. That is a ratio of 10 to 1. But now if we put in 10 units of effort in our daily work, we can harvest 100, or at any rate double or triple. This is not because of our own effort, but because of True Parents' sacrifice and effort. As you know, True Parents stand upon the foundation that they have laid following the principle of indemnity, coming up from the bottom of hell. This is the way they have lived. In the last few years, True Parents have been liberating, blessing, and forgiving all the people in the spirit world, even in hell. Because of that victorious effort by True Parents, we are now living in this providential, victorious time. Now we should feel that victory in our daily life. The deeper we feel that, the more we can bring victories ourselves in this time of great harvest. So if we do not bring substantial fruit, it is our problem. Therefore, I can conclude that if we make new determination, make a new start in our own life course, make a perfect 90-degree vertical relationship with True Parents, and invest ourselves completely in our daily life and mission, then we should certainly receive abundant blessing every day. I truly pray and hope that you will all go out and bring the greatest result in your entire life. This is probably the last chance in our life to do that. I wish you all to become filial sons and daughters to True Parents. Will you do that? Yes. Thank you very much. And after this, President Kim shared about the prophecies of the Chumgon Nok and Nostradamus. that talk of a time of destruction in this year, around August to be exact, and how these things can be avoided only if mankind begins to accept the teachings of the enlightened man, our true Father. As a result of these words, Mother's and Peter Kim's many members repented and have now a much more serious attitude in their relationship to two parents. They understand that they should not just look to receive nice things from mommy and daddy, but they should be mature and offer something to their true parents. This video is a production of the School of the White Crane. My name is John Brooker, and you could reach me through commentary on this video or through my Gmail listed here. Please share this video with family and friends and on social media. May God richly bless you, my beloved.